Today, we embark on a journey to unmask the subtle yet pervasive nature of systemic racism in everyday life. Systemic racism, unlike overt acts of discrimination, is deeply embedded in the policies and practices within various institutions. It's the silent force that shapes outcomes across our communities, often without direct notice. Imagine a morning at the local supermarket. You might not realize it, but from the availability and pricing of goods to the design of the neighborhood itself, systemic racism can be at play. This can manifest in food deserts, predominantly affecting minority communities, where fresh fruits and vegetables are scarce. Here, a choice as simple as eating healthier becomes a privilege rather than a norm due to the geographical placement dictated by historic zoning laws and economic inequality. Now, consider the educational system. Systemic racism often hides in the allocation of resources. Schools in predominantly minority neighborhoods typically receive less funding, resulting in larger class sizes and fewer educational opportunities. This disparity impacts not only academic performance but future prospects, perpetuating a cycle where lower-income communities remain disadvantaged. The long-term effect is a workforce that mirrors this inequality, struggling to climb the societal ladder, not for lack of effort, but lack of equal footing. Next, let's talk about employment. The concept of the glass ceiling still looms large over many sectors, disproportionately affecting people of color. Studies have shown that identical resumes with distinctly ethnic names receive fewer callbacks compared to those with names perceived as Caucasian. Such biases are not just inherent but institutional, impacting hiring practices and career advancements, thereby entrenching economic disparities. And what about the world of healthcare? Systemic racism worms its way into this sector as well, with studies revealing that minority patients often receive less effective treatment due to both implicit biases and disparities in healthcare accessibility. This translates into worse health outcomes and shorter life expectancies for these communities, further illustrating the inescapable reach of systemic racism. Even in law enforcement and the judicial system, systemic racism plays a critical role. From racial profiling to disparity in sentencing, minority groups often face harsher penalties and are overrepresented in the criminal justice system. This is not merely a reflection of individual prejudice, but a systemic issue that requires comprehensive policy reforms and a re-evaluation of the laws to create equal justice. So, how can we unmask these issues effectively? Awareness is key. By understanding how these systems operate, we stand a better chance of dismantling them. Education and dialogue are critical tools as they promote cultural competency and empathy. Furthermore, supporting policies that advocate for equity and inclusion can drive institutional changes necessary for a fairer society. In conclusion, systemic racism is an elaborate web woven into the fabric of our daily lives. By recognizing and challenging these structures, we can envision a future where equality and justice are not just ideals, but realities. While the road is long and often arduous, understanding is the first step. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. Until next time, stay informed and be proactive in advocating for change.